In this class, let us learn about the force acting on a current carrying conductor kept in a magnetic field. Consider a conductor of length L and cross-sectional area A. It is kept in a magnetic field which makes an angle theta with the length of the conductor. When a potential difference is applied across the conductor, the free electrons will move from one end of the conductor to the other end with a drift velocity. So the electrons in the conductor experience magnetic force. The field will exert a force on a moving charge in a magnetic field. Force acting on a moving charge in the magnetic field is given by Q in V cross B. The magnitude of the force is QVB sin theta. So the force acting on a moving electron is given by E VD B sin theta, where VD is the drift velocity of the free electron. All the electrons in the conductor will experience the force, and the total number of free electrons, capital N, is equal to small n AL. Small n is the number density or number per unit volume, and AL is the volume of the conductor. So the total force on the conductor F is equal to N times small f, where small f is the force on each electron. Let us substitute for N and F, but I is equal to NAEVD. So we get the equation F is equal to ILB sin theta. In vector form, vector F is equal to IL cross B. The direction of the force is given by Fleming's left-hand rule. The central finger points in the direction of current and forefinger points the direction of field, then the thumb points the direction of force. Now let us see the force between two parallel currents. Let us take the first case in which two conductors carry currents in the same direction. Let I1 be the current through the first conductor and I2 be the current through the second conductor. The conductors are separated by a distance r. A current carrying conductor produces a field around it. The direction of the field is given by right-hand thumb rule. So the second conductor will experience a force due to the field produced by the first conductor, and the force is directed towards the first conductor according to Fleming's left-hand rule. Similarly, the first conductor will experience a force towards the second conductor, as it is kept in the field produced by second conductor. So we can say like currents attract. The conductor 1 produces a magnetic field around it, which is given by B1 equal to mu 0 I1 by 2 pi r. The conductor 2 will experience a force due to the field produced by the first one, that is B1. Force on the second conductor by the first conductor F21 is equal to I2L B1. Let us substitute for B1. So F21 is equal to mu 0 I1 I2 by 2 pi r into L. So the force per unit length F21 is equal to capital F by L, that is equal to mu 0 I1 I2 by 2 pi r. Similarly, we can find the force acting on the first conductor by the field due to the second conductor, that is F12. It is also equal to mu0 I1 I2 by 2 pi r. The forces are directed towards each other. The two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. So magnetic force obeys Newton's third law. Let us consider case 2. Unlike currents, that is, the conductors carry currents in opposite direction. The first conductor will experience a force F12 as it is kept in the field produced by the second one, that is B2. And F12 is equal to I1 L B2. The force per unit length is I1 B2, which is directed away from the second conductor. Similarly, the second conductor will experience a force F21 as it is kept in the field produced by the first one, that is B1. The force per unit length on the second conductor, that is F21, is equal to I2 B1. Therefore, F12 is equal to F21, that is equal to mu0 I1 I2 by 2 pi r. Both are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, or the forces are directed away from each other, or the force is repulsive in nature. So we can say unlike currents repel and like currents attract. Thank you.